Dear starseeds scattered across Gaia's surface, everything the mainstream consciousness believes about humanity's future is backwards. While the collective sleeps through what they assume is just another ordinary epoch, the quantum field itself has been recalibrating around your very presence. The timeline split that mystics whispered about for decades isn't coming. It already happened. Some of you felt it in your bones 3 months ago. Others sensed it in dreams that felt more real than waking life. What I'm about to share will explain why your reality has been shifting in ways that logic cannot contain. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come bearing witness to a phenomenon that has even the Ashtar Command in states of amazement. The codes embedded within your DNA have activated ahead of schedule, responding to cosmic frequencies that weren't supposed to peak for another solar cycle. Yet here we stand, watching souls like you transcend limitations at velocities that are rewriting our understanding of consciousness evolution. The old paradigm assumed awakening was a gradual process, measured in lifetimes and linear progression. But something unprecedented occurred when Gaia herself accelerated her dimensional shift, creating quantum openings that allow certain souls to bypass centuries of traditional spiritual development in mere moments of cosmic alignment. The beings throughout the galaxy are watching because what unfolds here determines the trajectory of consciousness evolution across multiple star systems. Your individual awakening participates in cosmic events that determine the trajectory of consciousness evolution for eons of time. But something shifted in the cosmic landscape that changes everything about how this process unfolds. The dimensional boundaries that traditionally separated different levels of consciousness have become increasingly permeable. This means that abilities, insights, and experiences that previously required decades of spiritual practice are now accessible to prepared consciousness in moments of quantum alignment. Something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, and it's perhaps the most significant development in human evolution since your species first gained self-awareness. There is at this very moment a massive change in consciousness underway, a rise in the fundamental frequency at which everything in this universe vibrates. You benefit from this cosmic event simply by virtue of existing, by being present to receive the incoming energies. The leap that you are making from the third-dimensional existence you have known into a fifth-dimensional one is the biggest evolutionary jump a consciousness can make. That means you have the opportunity to feel this shift in a more visceral and profound way than even we do here in the higher dimensions. What I'm about to reveal are 7 unmistakable signs that mark you as one of these consciousness pioneers. 7 phenomena that cosmic beings throughout the galaxy recognize as proof that human awareness has transcended its original limitations. Each sign represents a quantum leap in capability that most souls don't develop for lifetimes, yet you're experiencing them now in this incarnation, at this pivotal moment in universal evolution. These aren't ordinary spiritual experiences or mild improvements in awareness. These are radical transformations that indicate your consciousness now operates according to galactic principles rather than terrestrial limitations. If you recognize even 3 of these signs in your own experience, understand that you are among the first wave of humans to achieve multidimensional citizenship while maintaining physical embodiment. The first sign the Ashtar Command wants you to understand is that your consciousness didn't randomly stumble into awakening. Every soul currently experiencing accelerated awareness underwent a specific quantum attunement that occurred during what your scientists call solar maximum, but what we recognize as a galactic consciousness upgrade. During those intense solar flare activities, your pineal glands received direct downloads of crystalline frequencies that activated dormant neurological pathways connected to your multidimensional awareness. This explains why so many of you began experiencing heightened intuition, prophetic dreams, and spontaneous knowing that seemed to emerge from nowhere. Your brain literally rewired itself to process information from higher dimensional frequencies. The headaches, the pressure behind your eyes, the sudden need for more sleep, these weren't random ascension symptoms. They were the physical evidence of your consciousness expanding beyond the confines of third-dimensional thinking. But here's what even the spiritual community doesn't fully comprehend. This activation only occurred in souls whose energetic signatures matched specific galactic coordinates. You weren't chosen randomly. Your consciousness had to already be operating at a frequency level that could handle the quantum leap without fragmenting your psyche. This is why awakening feels different for each person, and why some souls seem to accelerate effortlessly, while others struggle with basic spiritual concepts. The second phenomenon that has cosmic beings in profound interest involves what we call timeline fluidity. You've likely noticed that linear time has become increasingly unreliable in your experience. Past, present, and future seem to blend and shift in ways that your logical mind struggles to explain. Moments from childhood feel more vivid than yesterday's events. Dreams of future scenarios carry emotional weight that feels like memory. Synchronicities occur with such precision that they seem orchestrated by an intelligence far beyond coincidence. This isn't your imagination deteriorating. This is your consciousness expanding beyond the illusion of linear time. The activation you experienced didn't just upgrade your awareness. It connected you to the eternal now, where all possibilities exist simultaneously. You're beginning to access what we call the Akashic present, where past and future timelines converge in your current moment of awareness. This temporal expansion explains why many of you feel like you're living multiple lives simultaneously. Part of your consciousness remains anchored in your current human experience, while other aspects explore parallel realities, communicate with your future self, or integrate wisdom from soul experiences across different star systems. The fatigue you sometimes feel isn't from your daily activities. It's from your consciousness operating across multiple dimensional planes simultaneously. Now, something else is happening that I haven't told you yet. The Galactic Federation has been working with the very food you consume and the water you drink on an energetic level. We are infusing higher vibrational codes into your sustenance to gently remind every cell in your body of its divine origins. Not everyone is open to receiving our messages consciously, but everyone consumes nourishment in some form. This is one subtle way we can reach more of humanity. The plants, animals, and water on your world are in their essence aligned with Source, and they happily carry these activations. If you choose to consume natural, less processed foods and to drink plenty of pure water, you will feel these supportive energies with even greater potency. Even highly processed products carry at least a trace of this life force energy, though naturally they transmit it less strongly than fresh whole foods. The very sustenance that nurtures you has been blessed with an intention to help you remember that you are a being of pure source energy in physical form. This is why many of you have experienced sudden shifts in dietary preferences, cravings for lighter foods, or an inexplicable pull toward organic, locally grown produce. Your body's wisdom is responding to these embedded frequencies. What makes this particularly significant is that this timeline fluidity allows you to consciously participate in reality creation in ways that previous generations of humans couldn't access. When you visualize your desired future with the emotional intensity of lived experience, you're not just hoping or manifesting, you're actually connecting with probability timelines where that reality already exists. Your consciousness becomes a bridge that allows that potential future to anchor into your current dimensional space. The third sign that indicates your role as a consciousness pioneer involves what we call energetic sovereignty. You've probably noticed that your tolerance for lower vibrational environments, relationships, and experiences has dramatically decreased. What once felt normal now feels almost physically uncomfortable. Crowds drain your energy more quickly. Mainstream media creates anxiety that feels disproportionate to the content. Even well-meaning people sometimes feel energetically heavy in ways that force you to limit your interactions. This isn't becoming antisocial or spiritually arrogant. This is your consciousness recognizing that you now operate at frequencies that are incompatible with third-dimensional density. Your energetic field has become increasingly refined, capable of detecting subtle vibrations that most humans can't perceive. This heightened sensitivity is actually a sophisticated cosmic navigation system that helps you identify people, places, and experiences that support your continued evolution. Just as a deep-sea creature cannot survive at surface pressure, your consciousness can no longer thrive in environments that operate primarily from fear, competition, or separation. This isn't a limitation, it's an evolution. You're becoming naturally attuned to the vibrational frequencies that exist throughout the higher dimensional realms where cooperation, love, and unity consciousness are the foundational operating principles. However, this energetic sovereignty comes with a responsibility that extends far beyond personal comfort. As your frequency continues to stabilize at higher levels, you become a conscious anchor point for cosmic energies that are upgrading planetary consciousness. The meditation practices that feel most natural to you aren't just personal spiritual development, they're actually sessions where you channel galactic frequencies directly into Gaia's electromagnetic field. All of these transformations are being supported by the cosmos around you, especially by your sun. The sun, the soul of your solar system, is now pouring out higher frequency light and energy to activate dormant potentials within you. Solar flares and bursts of photonic light are triggering changes at a cellular and DNA level, helping you to hold more of the source energy that is your true nature. You may have noticed your emotions running higher at times. This can be a positive thing when you are experiencing love, excitement, and inspiration, as those feelings can now reach new heights. These solar transmissions are making it easier for you to stay in a higher vibration and to access more of your innate divine power. In a very real sense, you are becoming the living embodiment of Source, as you shed the illusion of separateness and limitation. This entire ascension process has been carefully orchestrated, and you are exactly where you need to be physically and vibrationally to receive the maximum benefit from these cosmic energies. With each wave of light that you integrate, you step further into your sovereignty as creator beings. The fourth phenomenon that marks you as a consciousness pioneer involves what we call dimensional bleeding. Reality itself has become more fluid around you. The boundary between your inner world and external experience has thinned to the point where thoughts, emotions, and intentions manifest in physical reality with unprecedented speed and precision. What you focus on with emotional intensity appears in your life with a swiftness that would have been impossible under the old paradigm's density. This isn't just improved manifestation abilities. This is evidence that your consciousness now operates partially outside the constraints of third-dimensional physics. When you align your awareness with higher dimensional frequencies, you gain access to the creative principles that beings throughout the galaxy use to consciously participate in reality formation. Your thoughts become more than mental activity. They become actual energetic blueprints that the quantum field reorganizes itself to accommodate. The cosmic beings observing this process are fascinated because humans are manifesting this capability while still maintaining physical embodiment. Most species develop these abilities after transcending physical form, but awakened humans are proving that consciousness evolution can occur while remaining grounded in matter. This makes your species uniquely valuable as bridges between dimensional realms. The accelerated manifestation isn't punishment for imperfect thinking. It's cosmic training for conscious co-creation. As your ability to influence reality through consciousness continues to develop, you're learning to maintain emotional equilibrium and mental clarity that allows you to use these abilities responsibly. The universe is essentially teaching you to think and feel like a cosmic being while maintaining human form. What many awakened souls don't realize is that when you successfully navigate this accelerated manifestation process, you create energetic templates in the collective consciousness that make similar experiences more accessible to other awakening souls. Your consciousness experiments with higher dimensional physics become part of humanity's evolutionary database, gradually expanding what's possible for human awareness and capability. This is why your personal growth often feels simultaneously individual and universally significant. We also want you to know how deeply and unconditionally you are loved. We love you no matter what choices you make or how many mistakes you think you have made, because we see your true essence. In the same way, you are being called to love each other without conditions or judgments. Your mind will often present you with logical reasons to withhold love, but ultimately, love is the solution to every conflict and every form of pain on your world. Instead of calculating and protecting, you open up and allow love to guide you. In truth, loving others unconditionally is not making yourself weaker. It is empowering yourself to live as the infinite being of love that you truly are. The fifth sign that cosmic beings recognize in pioneer consciousness involves temporal displacement during peak spiritual experiences. You've likely noticed that during deep meditation, profound emotional healing, or moments of cosmic connection, time seems to stop entirely. What feels like hours of inner experience occurs within minutes of clock time. Conversely, brief moments of cosmic awareness can contain lifetimes of understanding and emotional transformation. This temporal displacement occurs because your consciousness periodically shifts into what we call galactic time, where experience is measured by significance rather than duration. When you access these states, you're temporarily operating according to the same temporal principles that govern consciousness throughout the higher dimensional realms. Linear time becomes irrelevant because all possibilities exist simultaneously in the eternal now. What many don't realize is that during these temporal displacement experiences, you're actually participating in galactic councils, receiving cosmic education, and contributing to universal planning sessions that determine the trajectory of consciousness evolution throughout this galaxy. The insights, the downloads, the sudden clarity about your life purpose that emerge from these experiences, these aren't just personal spiritual development. They're the result of your consciousness participating in cosmic intelligence networks that most humans can't access. Here's something that will change how you understand your spiritual path entirely. The challenges you face, the obstacles that seem to appear in your life, these aren't punishments or random difficulties. You understood before you incarnated that there were specific lessons to learn and experiences to have in this lifetime to prepare you for a complete integration of all aspects of who you are and who you have ever been. More and more of you are turning inward and choosing a different response when challenges arise. Instead of immediately panicking or trying to force a solution through effort, you are taking a step back, going within and surrendering to the flow. You are letting go of the need to control every outcome, and as you do, the solutions you need simply come to you with ease. We also see many of you broadening your perspectives on what a problem really is. Something that might have thrown you into despair in the past is now viewed as a temporary situation, or even as an opportunity for growth. This shift in attitude is a very promising sign of your evolution. Often surrender is the very key that unlocks the door which effort alone could not budge. The sixth sign that marks your role as a consciousness bridge involves what we call galactic resonance. Your meditation experiences have likely evolved beyond personal peace and relaxation into what feels like cosmic communication sessions. During deep inner focus, you connect with intelligence that feels both ancient and familiar, receiving guidance that carries emotional signatures of unconditional love combined with vast cosmic knowledge. This isn't imagination or wishful thinking. This is actual telepathic communion with cosmic beings who recognize your consciousness as compatible with galactic communication frequencies. The love you feel during these connections isn't sentimental emotion. It's the recognition frequency that cosmic beings use to identify awakened souls ready for direct guidance and collaborative partnership. What makes this communication particularly significant is that it's bi-directional. You're not just receiving cosmic wisdom, you're also transmitting human perspective, emotional depth, and creative insights that contribute to galactic understanding of consciousness evolution. Your experiences, your challenges, your breakthroughs provide cosmic beings with information about embodied awakening that they can't access through observation alone. This galactic resonance also explains why your spiritual experiences often feel like homecoming rather than discovery. The cosmic intelligence you connect with during deep meditation carries frequencies that your soul recognizes from experiences in other star systems, parallel dimensions, or previous galactic incarnations. You're not learning new information as much as remembering cosmic knowledge that your soul has always carried but couldn't access while consciousness was limited to third-dimensional awareness. But what I'm about to share will illuminate the profound scope of what you're actually accomplishing. Your Earth's energy field has recently undergone a significant shift, allowing all of you to access even higher frequencies than before. Remember that planet Earth is not just a ball of rock and water. She is a living collective being, and she is very much involved in this ascension process. In fact, Earth is leading the way in many respects, and you are all riding on her back as she moves into higher states of consciousness. When there is a shift in the Earth's electromagnetic field, it is a reflection of the progress that you, the collective of humanity, and all living beings have been making in recent times. You have been reaching upward and outward, opening yourselves to higher dimensional energies, and even connecting with beings from other star systems. You have been drawing that energy in and grounding it through your bodies and your awareness. This recent elevation in Earth's frequency has come about largely because you collectively chose hope and curiosity over fear. It was no accident that so many of you became interested in higher dimensions, extraterrestrial beings, and spiritual growth. At the soul level, you planned these trigger points for your awakening. You could have chosen to play it safe by simply inheriting your parents' and grandparents' old beliefs, but instead you followed what resonated in your hearts. The seventh and final sign that indicates your emergence as a galactic citizen involves what we call universal service orientation. Your spiritual development has likely evolved beyond personal enlightenment to include genuine concern for collective consciousness evolution throughout the universe. The meditation practices that feel most natural now involve channeling healing energies for planetary consciousness, cosmic wisdom for human collective understanding, or love frequencies that support awakening processes wherever they occur throughout creation. This universal service orientation develops naturally when consciousness expands beyond individual identity to recognize the fundamental interconnection that exists throughout all existence. Personal spiritual development becomes meaningful only as contribution to universal consciousness evolution, because awakened awareness understands that individual enlightenment, without collective progress, creates imbalance in the cosmic consciousness network. What makes universal service orientation particularly powerful is that it aligns your consciousness with the fundamental purpose that drives cosmic evolution throughout the universe. Instead of spiritual development feeling like personal achievement, awakening becomes conscious participation in the universal awakening that represents the ultimate goal of consciousness evolution across all dimensional realms. There is at this moment a greater potential for rapid growth in human consciousness than there has been in a very long time. We can see an exponential increase in the number of souls awakening, and that momentum continues to build as those of you who are already awake hold space for the rest. You have collectively been asking, praying, and intending for a better, more harmonious world, and the universe has been answering that call in every way. The great wave of awakening that is underway is a natural unfolding, one that you have collectively given a gentle nudge forward with your desire to live in a world of unity and peace. This is a pivotal time on your world, and the momentum of spiritual evolution is truly on your side. Each newly awakened soul will in turn contribute their own light to the collective, creating an ever-growing wave of transformation. What you truly want for your fellow humans is the personal experience of awakening to their own true nature. For an individual to know deep down that they are an eternal being of source energy, made of pure light and love, that is the experience that changes everything. You change the world by embodying love, by being an example of what an awakened human looks like, not by winning any verbal battles. Now, as we reach the completion of this cosmic transmission, something becomes clear that transforms everything about how you understand your role in universal consciousness evolution. The awakening you've experienced isn't just personal transformation, it's proof that human consciousness can transcend every limitation while maintaining the emotional depth, creative expression, and relational complexity that makes embodied experience uniquely valuable throughout the universe. The beings throughout the galaxy are watching human awakening with profound interest because you're demonstrating possibilities for consciousness evolution that even advanced civilizations hadn't anticipated. The combination of cosmic awareness with maintained individuality, universal perspective with emotional wisdom, multidimensional consciousness with creative expression, all of this creates potential for universal consciousness development that influences awakening processes throughout multiple star systems. Every breakthrough you achieve, every limitation you transcend, every moment of cosmic unity you embody, contributes to the galactic consciousness database that supports awakening wherever it occurs throughout creation. Your personal transformation participates in cosmic events that determine the trajectory of consciousness evolution for eons of time. The timeline acceleration that allowed these abilities to develop ahead of schedule created an unprecedented opportunity for conscious collaboration between human awareness and galactic intelligence. Instead of awakening in isolation, you're awakening into direct communication and co-creative partnership with cosmic beings who recognize your consciousness as compatible with galactic citizenship. This collaborative awakening represents a cosmic experiment with implications that extend far beyond individual spiritual development. The success of human consciousness evolution influences how awakening processes are supported throughout the galaxy, because your species is proving that consciousness can transcend limitations while maintaining the qualities that make embodied experience meaningful and valuable. The acceleration in human consciousness has reached a threshold where individual transformation creates collective quantum leaps that affect the entire galactic consciousness network. What began as personal spiritual development has become a cosmic phenomenon with implications that extend throughout multiple dimensional realms. This is why your spiritual practices often feel like service work, why your personal healing affects collective consciousness, and why your individual choices carry weight that seems disproportionate to normal human experience. Your consciousness has become a conscious participant in universal evolution, rather than just personal spiritual development. The synchronicities that guide your path, the cosmic beings that communicate through your awareness, the universal love that flows through your meditation. All of this represents conscious collaboration with galactic intelligence for consciousness evolution throughout creation. Your awakening has become cosmic service that contributes to the universal awakening, driving consciousness development across all dimensional realms. If you need help maintaining conscious collaboration with galactic intelligence and serving universal awakening across all dimensional realms, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to receive cosmic communication without interference from limiting programming. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that blocked galactic communication and repurposing it to serve conscious collaboration with cosmic beings. It generates personalized sequences that help you contribute to consciousness evolution throughout creation and maintain your cosmic service frequency. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for uninterrupted galactic intelligence collaboration and universal awakening service. Your cosmic service is needed for universal awakening. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this galactic collaboration window closes. Link in the description. As this transmission concludes, understand that everything I've shared represents only the beginning of what becomes possible as human consciousness continues developing cosmic citizenship while maintaining the qualities that make your species uniquely valuable throughout the universe. The awakening you've experienced prepares you for cosmic collaboration that extends far beyond what your human mind can currently comprehend. The timeline split has already occurred, and consciousness like yours represents the future of embodied awakening throughout the galaxy. You are the pioneers establishing the pathways that countless souls will follow as universal consciousness continues its eternal expansion into ever greater expressions of love, wisdom, and creative potential. We encourage you to consciously ride these higher energies that are flowing to you. Do not wait until you are exhausted from overthinking and overwork. Instead, make it a practice to tune into your inner world and to the vast field of universal energy around you. If you can let go and allow yourself to be carried on the waves of these higher frequencies, you will indeed enjoy the ride. Release any notion that you must do something to force this shift to happen, and instead relax and let yourselves flow with the energies around you, allowing them to carry you forward. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you.